What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What's up? What's up, people? What's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I am back for another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our review for Chasing LA. This is season 1. It is episode 3. It is entitled Ring Around the Reeds. So I'm telling y'all, it was a struggle. It was a chore and a struggle to do this review. I'm having a difficult time. I just get so exhausted by these chicks on here. It's just a lot. It's exhausting, but we're gonna fight through it all. We're gonna try and get through this, okay? So we start off. We still at the pole dancing class. Jada and Alicia is still going after each other and all this, that, and the third. Listen, it was just exhausting. At that point, I ain't even care no more. It wasn't. It's not entertaining to me at this point because y'all just out here just windmilling, and I'm like, girl, okay, girl, we get it, girl. I mean, you don't have nothing else besides that, girl. Please, girl. If all you do is windmill, I mean, it doesn't. A good read, a good, windmilling, a good dragging a bitch comes because it's few and far between. If that's all you do, it's not as good all the time. Even your favorite food, you don't eat it every day because if you eat your favorite food every day, then it makes it not as good. It's not as special anymore. But whatever, honey. I'm trying to read my notes. Jayla and the rest of them went out. I mean, Alicia left. The rest of them went in the parking lot and started talking and chit-chatting and everything outside the pole dancing place. And they started talking about, everything that happened at the first get-together at Hamburger Mary's or wherever it was. And they started talking about the fact that, they were misgendering Alicia, that they should not do that. And I love this. She did correct them. She said, listen, sexuality and sexuality and gender are two different things. It's not the same. So just because someone's a trans woman, you can't call them gay because they are a woman. And so if they have sex with men, they are not gay. And so I'm glad she went through that and clarified that. And Hershey also brought up the fact that they were misgendering her, Alicia, at the Hamburger Mary's or whatever first hangout they had. But at this point, it's whatever. They then started to talk about Fran, and D. Hawkins clearly has beef or whatever he got for Fran because he kept highlighting the fact that Fran had 388 subscribers, and I was just like, why does it matter? Because I'm thinking that he finna say, girl, I got 800,000 subscribers. Girl, I got 2 million subscribers. He said, oh, I got 6,000 something. Girl, sit down somewhere. Girl, I at least knew you was finna be in freaking, 6 figures, subscriber count, follower count. Girl, you ain't even in 5-figure follower count, but you trying to read her. Girl, sit down somewhere. Girl, these always suffer from delusions of grandeur. I can't. I was like, girl. Anyway, he said he's a model. Girl. I mean, the overabundance of fashion designers and quote-unquote fashion designers and quote-unquote models on these shows, it's just, Jesus. I guess, honey. I guess. I'm going to give it to Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it like you said you would. Moving on, Andre meets up with this fashion designer named Adolfo Sanchez, who's a real fashion designer. He has his own, boutique or store or whatever. We're talking about real girls who are doing real things. Who's known? Dear God, he has worked with some famous people and so forth. Fran comes through. Friends starts talking about her boyfriend and their fact that they got an open relationship. Then she called herself being surprised because the boyfriend had some other bust down at the house, butt ass nigga in the closet. But if you open up the relationship, then you should expect that your boyfriend might have a bust down there. And he said, "Oh, I opened up the relationship, but not my home." Does he live with you? Because if he lives with you, then it's your home. And if the relationship is open, then I don't. Girl, whatever. This is what happens when you have open relationships. You can't get mad. What you should have did was open the door and said, "Oh, this is what we doing? Okay, well, girl, y'all should have told the girl. Let me go ahead and take my clothes off, and girl, we can keep it moving." What it says to me is you took a look at whoever the bust down was and was like, "Yeah, that's not my cup of tea." And then that's when now you mad. Now you don't want to be involved no more because you don't see it for the girl. Girl, get your life. Anyway, we then meet some dude, Fly King I, who had on this. Girl, what is this tie-dye foolishness and fuck shit and fuckery? Girl, what the fuck? What? First of all, it's disrespectful to know that you're going to go see a very famous and reputable fashion designer and roll up in this man's boutique and store or whatever with this fuck shit and fuckery on. Girl, have you not learned? Girl, you're so uncouth. Just no scruples about you. So uncouth. Girl, what sighted person is wearing this? I guess. Moving on. I mean, just a whole ass tie-dye suit. Just a mess. A damn mess. Andre told this Fly King guy about the rest of the group. So he started going down the list about the rest of the group and who he saw it for and who he didn't see it for with his half-hearted and low-budget ass reads or whatever. It's just at this point, I don't know. I'm fatigued at this point. I'm fatigued with just the constant just barrage of low budget, low rate, third rate reads or whatever. It's just ridiculous at this point. That's why I just don't know. It's just Fly King. We did see him in Atlanta at this photo shoot. Now I was here for the photo shoot. He had the little photo shoot with his little he says he has a skincare line and a beard grooming thing. I was here for the photo shoot. He was doing his thing, doing his stuff, digital. I was here for it. I liked that. I didn't like the fact that none of them whores didn't have on no masks, but I remember they are in Atlanta, and Atlanta is wide ass open, been wide ass open since the beginning of COVID. Them hoes never closed down, so that's what I expected. But I did like that part, and I'm glad to see that he was doing something. Girl, I didn't know why he had on this whole ass suit for a photo shoot, and he's not being unless he was in the photo shoot, but I didn't see him in the photo shoot. Girl, I don't know, but I liked that part. That we need more of. Also, but why? I mean, you are in. I didn't understand why, if you live in Atlanta, live in LA, why you had to travel all the way across the country, across 3 or 4 time zones, to find models and a photographer. Like, you really had to go all the way to Atlanta for that, or you just went to Atlanta so you can, frolic around and get bust down, make your new OnlyFans video, because Atlanta seems to be the mecca of OnlyFans collaborations. Child. You're in fucking Hollywood. You're in LA. You mean you can't find a reputable photographer and models in LA? Girl. You went to Atlanta for another reason. Anyway, Hershey and Alicia go out for drinks and smoothies. Alicia seems to be just as delusional as the rest of them about who she is and her part in all of this and what she has done. I was just like, oh, girl. But I was here for all parts of Hershey. Said he was a boy drag. I'm semi-developing a crush on Hershey as a boy. Like, I really am developing a little crush on Hershey. I'm here for Hershey. He seems like he's probably he's about a good 5'5", 5'6", fun sized. He gives me now. Shouts out to Hershey's because he was in my comment section last review, and if he's back again in this review, I just want to note he did confirm that he does not use duct tape to tuck. However, he did not deny that it wasn't big, which means that he's packing a wallop down there. So it takes a considerable amount of, tucking or whatever needs to be going on down there. They say the short ones be built with kickstands and third legs. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Anyway, hey Hershey, hey. Anyway, we D Hawkins. They're at D Hawkins' home. I wanted to say this. Hershey seems to be the only level-headed one in here. And after watching Imani Van Zap's whole little thing again, can we get after this season Hershey to replace Imani? Can we start a petition? Next iteration of whatever Chase a Reality show. I need Hershey to be giving out the advice and fixing people's shit, and not Imani, because Imani at this point is doing a lot, and she's doing the most. And at this point, people are tuning her out. Girl, you just doing a whole lot. I like Hershey. He younger, he cuter, and he gives just as good advice, and he's just as level headed, and seems to be wrapped tightly. And then we ain't got to look at that stuff on. He ain't got this stuff going on with his neck like Imani do. But I'm just saying. Oh, I couldn't get my pen, y'all. We're starting a petition. Replace Imani Van Zap with Hershey Liqueur. I'm just saying. Here for it. Anyway, Quan and D Hawkins are at D Hawkins getting ready for this photo shoot that Quan's trying to have for some, I think, a t-shirt line or something he's doing with inspirational messages and stuff like that. And this is the type of stuff that I like to see. I liked the conversation with Hershey and Alicia. I like the little photo shoot that your boy had. Fly King I had. I like this conversation and the photo shoot that they were getting ready, getting makeup on for between Quan and D Hawkins. That was great. This is what we need more of. Much more of this. So I love that they had this in there. Quan explains why he has such a problem with the jokes about the drugs and narcotics and stuff, because he had a problem. And he says he's just about 2 years sober, and he's still, and I mentioned that in my last review, that he must still be, battling and grappling with it, because he was so triggered. And so he did talk about that. He said he lost a brother and everything. And so that was something that was the catalyst for him, getting off the drugs. And so I'm glad he shared his story, because there might be other people struggling with it that needed to hear that. Like I said, this whole conversation I was here for. D. Hawkins talked about, his childhood and growing up with his father not really being there. And he didn't meet his father until he was 16. And then he said maybe if he had been with his father, he wouldn't have been gay, I thought he said. And I was like, what? That's kind of not how that works. These things are kind of genetic. That's no, not how that works. I'm just saying. Anyway, the delusional part, because there were so many delusional moments in this episode. The delusional moment was when Quan was saying that that they were acting crazy at the pole dancing class. Like, he was like, oh yeah, they was real crazy at the pole dancing class. I was like, girl, did you forget that you had a whole ass meltdown on Alicia and you were just as crazy as the rest of them at the pole dancing class? Did you forget that? You the one who had your balls hanging all out your shorts, flopping around all over our screens. But they were the crazy ones. Right, Quan? Girl, these girls. Then D. Hawkins says he has this idea about having the girls go up to some stairs on a mountain or something like that, and they do this little hike or whatever, and then they take something that's been a burden on them, and they would take it and they would do this like exercise where they like cast it out and relieve themselves of that burden. So the next thing we saw was another great scene. So I did like this episode more because we have more and more good scenes in it. Jeremy is at this video shoot where he's doing choreography for Kaylin Allen, and Terrell Grice is there. Love me some Terrell. Love me Terrell. And it's supposed to be like this Christmas video. It's LGBTQ plus, meaning it's for us. Down here to the Rainbow Coalition compound. It's made for us. Something Christmassy for us down here. The compound at the Rainbow Coalition compound. Anyway. So that was great. Love to see it. And I like to see these people in their element. I want to see him bust a move, though. I keep seeing him choreograph. I want him to see him do an 8 count, a boom cat, or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me a boom cat. Give me an 8 count. Give me something. I want to see it. Anyway. And then we did go to the hike. Everybody goes to this hike that D. Hawkins had going on. Andre, being messy Andre, tells Hershey that he heard that Alicia works down to the Hamburger Mary's, and that's why she left or something so fast, or took them all off of social media, because she didn't want them to find out that she worked down the Hamburger Mary's. Hershey said, girl, I worked there and I ain't never seen her. And then Jayla and Alicia, they meet somewhere on the hike as well. And also, before we get to Jayla and Alicia, I noticed you was shading the girls at the end. Hershey has kind of stayed above the fray in terms of reading and shading the girls. But Hershey gave the girls a little 2 to the head, 3 to the body at the end when she was in that red. I see Hershey trying to read the girls a little bit and keep it moving. Classy based. Jayla and Alicia at one point stopped, and they had a whole airing it out and talking to each other, and they were able to talk it out, apologize to one another, and get on the same page because they are the two trans women on this show, and they want to not, be fighting and let that be their narrative and their storyline. And that was great to see. I loved that. This is so far the best episode so far. As long as they don't keep with all of this fighting and carrying on, I loved so many parts of this episode. And it kind of went off from there. They're still continuing on the hype. We need more of what we saw in most of this episode and less of what we saw at the beginning of this episode and most of episodes 1 and 2. More of this. I enjoyed watching these people in their elements do their thing and all of this, that, and the third. Give us more. Give me more. Okay? I'm here. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just here at this point for Hershey. At this point, that's all I'm here for. And Jeremy, because I want to see. I saw Jeremy Instagram, and I saw he was packing a lot of heat in that little swimsuit he had on. I want to see if we can get more visuals of that, or if he gonna give me a good 8 count, Jeremy. That's all I got for this week. We'll be back next week. Oh yeah, shouts out to Rachel Lewinsky. Girl, I saw you on camera, girl. Girl, I saw you, Rachel. Rachel is in production. She comes on my channel to talk about the show. Y'all come see us when we go live and we talk about it. Anyway, until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.